So I just want to say...
Can we ask you a question first?
Yes.
Do you feel that FBI agent fell apart in there? Susan?
No.
No.
No. But when the world woke up on the morning of the Pulse Nightclub shooting, the world knew that the Pulse Nightclub had been attacked. So the idea that this FBI agent woke up in his South Florida home, received an email from his supervisor telling him to be ready, drove an hour and a half to the Fort Pierce office, went into an office that was full of FBI agents with televisions on and people Googling. You can't believe that he didn't know that Pulse Nightclub was the target of the attack. So I felt he held his ground, but I don't happen to believe what he said was the truth, that he didn't know anything. It's preposterous. I live in this community, you all live in this state, you all are the media, you saw it unfold. When I woke up that Sunday morning, I turned on the television, I opened my phone, it was everywhere. The idea that he didn't know what had happened is just preposterous. And the fact that she was in the FBI office by that time for however many hours when he showed up, she ended up being there 18, and was being moved from a large conference room to some storage room and walked through the FBI offices and didn't hear people talking or hear any details is also preposterous. I find it extremely hard to believe that this information wasn't fed to her somewhere, somehow, in the time she was pulled from her apartment, put into the police car with her son, taken in her, out of her place in pajamas, changed, went down to the FBI office and was there for 18 hours, that she did not receive the information that Pulse Nightclub had been attacked. Of course she did. We all knew. In this day and age, it is impossible to live without knowing what is going on. I mean, they knew. Of course they knew. Of course they talked. You can't say in one moment that the other agents didn't tell you anything and you went into the interview cold, and then at the same time say you're collaborating with the agents because close collaboration is important. If close collaboration was important, by then they'd be videotaping it, right? I mean, it's just so sad. I'm just so sad for her that this happened. I mean, I've seen it happen before on television. I've never known anyone that it's happened to. So.
Do you believe that then that leaves open the possibility that he may have put information in her head before she made a statement?
Yes, I believe he put information in her head. I have seen her writing personally, and I see her writing, the little bit of writing she did do on those statements, and she's not that eloquent. She can't spell, her grammar is not that great. I love the girl to death, but I mean, those weren't the writings of Noor Salman.
I think he put words in her mouth.
I do. I think he or other agents put information into her head about Pulse Nightclub. There's no way she knew that. She'd never been there. They'd never talked about it. He'd never Googled it. He didn't even know that night. So, yeah, some of the, well,
They're using a method of green light, and that's military method. It's not me and you using it.
When you're listening to the testimony today and listening to the agent, do you feel that her statements seem to indicate she knew that there may be an attack, but do you think there was anything to show that she participated in it?
No. And at the same time, this young lady, she wouldn't be able because she's not capable of it. Okay? She's scared. She's a scary type of person. She's not capable of any of it.
We were sitting there as they were going through the various paragraphs in the various statements, saying she wouldn't use that word freely and willingly, green light, and just some of the words that were used. They're just not words that would come from this woman. So, look, I know a lot of FBI agents. I think many of them are upstanding and try to protect the public and work very hard. But clearly something broke down here. They decided at some point that because they thought this was a terrorist attack, because the supervisor, they heard him on TV saying it was a terrorist attack, that they deemed this important and they decided they were going to put words in her mouth and hold somebody responsible. And I'm sorry that happened, because maybe in any other situation they'd be great, but I don't think they're being fully forthcoming about what happened in this situation. They're just not.
Anybody else want to say something?
That's fine. I
No, I
can't
think
say
we should.
because
Joe.
I'm going to be witness.
All right. Thanks, you guys. See you tomorrow.
That's her mom.